Duplantis.
I'm Ken Pruitt.
Okay, and great to meet you. Obviously, that was for a purpose. I think we worried Julian over there.
Rude. Rude.
I wanted to shake his hand and he was like, no, I was like, oh no, did I do something?
Well, good. So it was very, very clearly noticeable, and that's what we want to avoid, right? We want to help you leave today with a few things, hopefully, that will let you make great first impressions, put your best foot forward. So we all have an opportunity daily to encounter folks in professional settings, in school settings, and have that chance to make a first impression. So today we're going to focus primarily on networking opportunities and interview opportunities. And we'll do a couple of quick demonstrations of what to do and not to do, and then we're going to leave you with a card to take with you of things to always do and avoid. So, Ken?
Thanks, Jamie. Good morning.
Good morning.
If you didn't know that I was messing with that, what kind of impression would you have left here with?
I was like,
So sad. Like, okay.
You got 20 seconds to make a good first impression. And that first 20 seconds will last forever with that person. So it's important that you take full advantage of that impression whenever you get it. Also realize your audience. Look, we have a really young crowd here, Jim. Young at heart too.
Just to swing the curve.
There you go. But when you're going to interview with somebody like me, older guy, more conservative, and you want to come on in and you've got the body piercing and you've got the spiked hair and you want to make a point. Hey, look, I'm a free spirit. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you think, but you know what? You need to look past it. Well, okay. Some will. But what you've done is that you've put yourself at a disadvantage because there are those who won't. So if you want to continue to, to not know your audience and just do whatever it is you want, because it's a principle that you just feel compelled to do, go ahead. But what you're not going to allow them to do is to see your talent, the energy, the assets that you're going to offer that organization because you've already put yourself out of the playing field. You want to be on the playing field. You want to at least have a chance out there, not sitting on the bench.
So we'll do a couple quick demonstrations and then walk through our points.
The first one is, I'm coming in to do an interview. Yeah, okay, look, I'll get with you whenever I can, all right? Can you excuse me, please? Yeah, okay, all right, I'll call you back.
Hi,
Hey.
welcome to PNC.
Okay. Look, I may get another call, I gotta take it. I just wanted you to know, look, my mama said I had to come down here and do this interview,
I can see you're excited.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so take two.
Hey,
Hi, how are
hi,
you?
Ken Pruitt.
Good, Jamie Duplantis, nice to meet
Hey,
you.
Jamie, wonderful to meet you. Hey, look, I am so excited about having the opportunity to be able to interview with PNC. Thanks so much for taking the opportunity to interview me.
We're excited to meet you. Come on
Really
in.
great, thanks.
All right. So anybody notice any differences from the first time? Yes. You notice? What'd you notice?
a lot more respectful.
More respectful, okay. Anything else?
Engaged.
Yeah, more engaged, professional.
Did he have a cigarette the first time? What's that
Yeah.
about? He had his phone. Yeah, okay, good. So again, you guys picked up on the key things. Next thing we're going to do is a networking encounter.
You're at a Chamber of Commerce event or you're at a social event for young entrepreneurs or whatever. And your expansion plans, boy, they look really
Hi,
great. It
Pruitt,
seems like
how
you're
are
really.
you doing? So good to
Excuse
see
me.
you again.
Hey.
Jamie, you remember
Hey,
me?
I apologize.
Hey, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, my phone's ringing. Okay, take two.
And your expansion plans are going great. Liz, tell the family I said hi. Okay, great.
Ken Pruitt, good to see you.
Hey.
Jamie Duplantis, how have you been?
Hey, Jamie, wonderful to see you again.
How's the family?
Everybody's doing great. Did you just have a baby
I
recently?
did. It's been 6 months. It's flying
Wow,
by.
time is flying by. Well, you look great.
You too. I just wanted to say hi. Sorry to interrupt
Awesome.
you. You have
Great.
a good evening.
Great.
All right. So again, what did you notice between the first and second times?
It was more professional.
More professional, okay. I didn't beat him up.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're going to give you some cards just with some reminders of things to always do in green and then things to avoid in red. And again, keep these with you. Hopefully they'll help you with putting your best foot forward in your first impressions. So the first thing I think you've probably picked up on a few times now is you always want to make eye contact, smile, shake hands. You want to have a firm grip, but not overpowering. We don't want to break somebody's hand. And wear a name tag. It should be on your upper right lapel. The reason for that is when you go to greet somebody, it's kind of right in the line of sight. It's not going to be awkward for them to try to see what your name is.
Okay, you also want to do your homework. I knew that Jamie had just had a baby. You know, Google is out there for you, so the person, whenever you're going to be interviewed, you're going to know a little bit about them. Perhaps they had a work achievement. You want to mention that. How many have we been in that moment of a conversation, there's that awkward silence? No? These are perfect opportunities for you to know the person that you're speaking with and to be able to pick up on the conversation. Dress appropriately, again, and you can call ahead if you need to say, look, is this business casual? Is it business attire? Is it formal? What is the attire? Because what you don't want to do is to show up to a formal event and show up in shorts. That would just be awkward for you. Put your phones on silent. When you go in there and it's dinging, it's taking away from, again, you want to have maximum potential to make the greatest impact. When this thing is dinging and it's going crazy, and you just feel so compelled to want to take a look at it, don't. It's hard to do, but don't. Put it in minimize it, leave it in the car, and turn it off. And again, if you want to make the point about your outward appearance, and you just like what you're doing to yourself is you're just making yourself at a disadvantage. Doesn't mean you can't do it. You may have a younger free spirit, could be an older free spirit, and they're perfectly fine with it. But what you're doing is that the odds are they're not going to be okay with it. So just remember, you know, and then once you get in there and you're working there and you're showing what a great person you are and a great professional employee for them, you know, maybe it's okay then. But just don't put yourself at that disadvantage.
Yeah, I think the thing we say in interviewing is in an interview, that's the best it's gonna get. So again, as Ken said, if you're limiting your opportunities out of the gate, then, you know, make different choices. So you wanna use small hand gestures, you know, you wanna keep somebody engaged, you don't wanna knock them in the head, so don't be too dramatic. You wanna send a thank you card. Handwritten card is definitely a great way to differentiate yourself from other candidates, especially in today's world of technology. Practice writing. Grammar and punctuation really do matter. I've seen managers knock people out of consideration just based on their resume and poor grammar and punctuation. And be politically correct.
Chewing gum. Don't chew gum. Now, if you need to, you know, you get cotton mouth and you need a little mint or something like that before you go in there, that's fine. But chewing gum while you're in there in the interview, you know, in a reception area, you know, it's fine as long as you're not, you know, it's not obvious of what you're doing. Topics that are volatile or taboo. Hey there, how about that Donald Trump, baby? Or what about burn, baby, burn? He's really going at it, isn't he? When you're going in for the interview, you know, you have completely 50% for this one, 50%. Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself at that disadvantage? You know what? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but nobody's, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean you're entitled to give your opinion to everybody, particularly if you're in that type of setting. Also, getting caught with this, drinking, and Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you're doing. And let me just tell you what you're doing. If I have two professionals, same experience, same talent, same education, and I've got to choose between the two, you know where I go? Guess what? Guess where I go to take a look at anybody I'm getting ready to hire? Facebook, social media. I look at every one of them. If I see the Animal House, you know, Animal House, now you've come dressed to the nines to the interview, and it looks like, wow, they're great. This would be great. And then you get on the social media, and you're, well, what it does to you, it doesn't mean you're that kind of a person, but if I don't see it on the other person, guess what you've done? You've tipped the scale, particularly when all things are being equal. What you've done is that you've tipped the scales to them. Just remember, and I preach this to my kids over and over again, it doesn't vaporize. You know, social media, Snapchat, it's going somewhere. Everything you're putting on the web, every picture you're taking is somewhere. And eventually, it's going to show up. Just be very, very careful about what you do, allowing people of what they're taking with you. I look, I don't even carry, I don't drink anyway, but I don't even carry the cup because if I'm in a social venue and I'm this and then I'm running for re-election, and you have some people who don't like people drinking. They don't. And so, but why would I put myself in that position? You don't.
You also want to avoid standing or sitting when the party you're speaking to is doing the opposite. So if you walk up to talk to somebody, they're seated, maybe bend down, or if they're standing up and come to you, stand up and meet them on their level. You don't want to put somebody on the spot by saying, do you remember me, like I did to Ken, very awkward, so just introduce yourself and move past that. Also avoid invading other people's space. If you're gonna hug somebody, you really should have, you know, a good cue and know them, use your judgment there, and also don't rudely interrupt others in conversation.
You want to offend somebody, tell them a Dave Chappelle or a redneck joke. I mean, just don't tell inappropriate jokes, particularly if they're two guys are there and they start and a female comes walking up and they start talking. You know, don't put yourself in that position to where, you know, the bad association spoils a useful habit. Just don't put yourself in that type of setting or don't even participate in it. Also, you're driving to the interview, some guy cuts you off, some guy or gal cuts you off, you give them the F-bomb, you flip them off, you say, geez, Lee. You go up to the interview room, guess who's interviewing?
Happens more than you think.
Don't burn a bridge. Do not burn that bridge. And also remember, again, to reiterate, very important, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, anything you're putting on there, eventually it could come back, it could come back to haunt you. You want to give yourself you're in such a competitive world today, and when you're trying to go and you've raised the bar so high and you're trying to go for that marquee job, don't put yourself, take a point off for stuff that you shouldn't be doing. It's been great being with y'all.
Thank you. Our cards are in the back. Good to meet you.
Our cards are on the back. Again, you can use them for